Morning people, Coach Heather here with nutrition news here at Kindergarten Fit Body Bootcamp. This week we're going to talk about being sick and what our body needs when we are sick. So there is the old saying, should you feed a cold or should you starve a fever? So we're going to talk a little bit about that, how we can hopefully prevent getting sick. I know I'm a little early with this one. We're still enjoying August. Kids are going back to school though very soon. There's going to be a lot of germs going around, so like it or not, we do need to talk about it. So what to do when we're not 100% and how we can help our bodies fight germs a little bit better. So our immune system, it is intricate, it is complex, it's amazing, and it helps fight off germs. So standing guard throughout every part of our body, it protects us from these hordes of germs, fungi, and viruses that threaten to literally tear us apart at times. Little jerks they are. So in fact, our immune system can get into the act from the very first moment that we pop food into our mouths. A lot of people associate the GI tract, white blood cells, with fighting germs, but it is a complex system, our immune system, and as soon as we put food into our mouths, we are actually triggering our immune system to react. So our saliva contains powerful antimicrobials, so anti meaning against, and microbials. These antimicrobials are only the basic. They're like the front line defense in terms of fighting our germs. But it happens. They're in our saliva, and they're our front line, our first defense. Any germs that happen to sneak past these guys, they're going to be confronted with a much more formidable barrier, the acid in our stomach. So our stomach's hydraulic acid down there is also going to take care of any germs, any fungi that we do happen to intake. And that stuff is pretty powerful, hydraulic acid. So it is corrosive enough to remove rust from steel. Pretty amazing to think that we have that going on inside our bodies. So powerful enough to remove rust from steel. Hydraulic acid will pulverize most invaders within our stomachs before they can reach our intestines. So they are working hard. We do appreciate that. If that stomach acid does happen to lose the battle, we also have proteins and chemical compounds further down the digestive chain that can sense and fight any harmful bacteria that may have made it past. So we have a third line of defense. Finally, our own personal bacterial population, those probiotics that we hear so much about, they're going to help prevent harmful bacteria from entering our bloodstream or taking root in the small intestine or the colon as well. So these foods we eat affect these bacteria and the complex compounds they release. So we have a whole lot going on. It's not just, white blood cells that take care of us. We have a whole intricate immune system, and it's actually fascinating. We can't get into it all now, but that is the basics in terms of our digestive system and how we can help fight some of these germs that we intake into the body. So what can we do? Nutrient-dense, fiber-rich whole foods tend to promote a healthy bacterial balance, whereas a diet rich in processed foods, fats, and sugars can lead to dysbiosis. Pretty fancy word. Basically means that microbial imbalance, okay? So we're not having those pre and probiotics that we need to get some awesome gut flora happening in there to fight the germs. So dysbiosis, throw that in your next dinner conversation and impress some people. But that's basically the imbalance. So in fact, our GI tract comprises of over 70% of our immune system, little tidbit there. And again, it's a whole lot more complicated than we need to get into now. But if you are looking for something that might surprise you in terms of reading, check out the immune system and all its awesomeness. So right now, we're just going to talk about what affects our immunity on different levels. So eating. If your diet is lousy, you'll get sick more often than someone who eats a healthier diet. Fact is fact. Viruses and bacterial infections will hit you harder and keep you out for longer. Meanwhile, eating poorly while you are sick will only make you sicker. So good nutrition allows our bodies to respond to germy invaders quickly and efficiently. In order to function well, the cells of our immune system need plenty of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and essential fatty acids as well. So what things can we be eating specifically to help us fight germs and put ourselves in a better position to fight those germs in the first place before getting sick. So how can we react, and how can we be proactive in terms of these germs that will be coming our way very shortly? Prebiotics and probiotics, they deserve special mention here for helping to prevent illness. Both are essential to gut health, and gut health is essential to immunity. We talked about 75% of our immune system being in the GI tract. So prebiotics, these are food for bacteria. They're going to help to feed that bacteria that we're building up in our GI tract to help us fight these germs coming in. So we want to nourish, we want to help these. They are our friends. So usually this is some form of semi-digestible fiber that our bacteria can chow down on and help build and get stronger. Probiotics, the bacteria themselves, have been shown to help us recover faster once we get sick. So both do play a key part in our overall health. And that's why we need to ensure that our systems are well colonized for these friendly critters. So let's talk about prebiotics. The best whole food sources we can get for those prebiotics, and remember, these are foods that are helping to feed the healthy bacteria we have in our gut. We're looking at vegetables. So examples there: asparagus, garlic, artichokes, leeks, and onions. In terms of carbs, we're looking for barley, beans, oats, quinoa, rye, wheat, potatoes, and yams. Fruits, we're looking for apples, bananas, berries, citrus, kiwi. And for fats, flax seeds and chia seeds. So if you're listening and thinking, yes, 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 then good. We're getting a lot of great sources from whole foods there for prebiotics in our body, which is helping to feed our healthy bacteria within the gut. In terms of probiotics, remember, probiotics are the bacteria themselves. They are the healthy bacteria that we want in our gut. Where do we get these? So the best whole food sources for these, you're going to be looking for dairy. In terms of that, yogurt, cheese, and kefir. Now here's the kicker. When people say, oh yes, I get my probiotics, I have yogurt all the time, you have to look at the label. We're looking for live active cultures. Live active cultures, people, that is key. This is where the probiotics come from. A lot of yogurt is not live active culture, so make sure you're reading the labels, and if in doubt, call the company, ask for sure, or check, maybe somebody at the supermarket can give you a hand with that, but check the labeling on the package to look for those live and active cultures. Fermented vegetables, so your pickles, your sauerkraut, your kimchi, so good. Also looking for fermented soy, so miso and tempeh. Miso soup, fantastic, I do love. And then miscellaneous wine. Moderation, people. Just because I said it doesn't mean you can go and drink a lot. Moderation as always, but wine is a good source, and also soy sauce, again, moderation. So how much, right? In terms of getting probiotics from food, if you're healthy, we're aiming for 1 to 2 servings of probiotic-rich foods each day. If we're hoping to prevent or alleviate a specific medical problem or illness, we may need to increase that dose, but let's check with our doctors first. If we're getting probiotics from supplements, which I'm not against, don't get me wrong, for those of you that don't know, I do have celiac, and for a long time, in order to get nutrients, vitamins, minerals into my body, I was supplementing, and I still do, because there are supplements that I think are fantastic and we do need if we are supplementing probiotics. Typically doses are expressed in billions of live organisms. You're looking for between 3 and 5 billion as a starting dose. It sounds intimidating, right? You're looking for 3 to 5 billion to get started. This can be increased to 10 billion if you're hoping to alleviate a specific health concern. Again, though, check with your doctor, your pharmacist, and go with a reputable brand when we're going with supplements, okay? Sometimes we can get very cheap. Does not always mean it's the best. So check here with your pharmacist. Check online, check somebody you trust, and go with a reputable brand. In terms of prebiotics, for those, we're aiming for 2 to 3 servings of prebiotic-rich foods per day, and that can be any of the lists that I mentioned previously. And then with supplements, in terms of prebiotics, they usually express these in terms of grams, and we're looking for 2 to 4 grams to help feed our healthy gut bacteria and keep things balanced in there. Supplementing with pre and probiotics at the same time is a fine idea. You don't have to go one or the other. You can supplement with both. So you're getting that healthy bacteria into the gut, and you're also feeding it at the same time. It's not a one or the other. We can do both. The only thing to be mindful of with prebiotics when we're supplementing them is that you may actually start to feel worse before you feel better. Since bacteria itself does release toxins when they're introduced into the body, there may be a short period of time where you're not feeling 100%, and that is just the toxins being released from the supplements. Ride it out for a few days, see what happens. If we don't start to feel better, we talk to a doctor, stop taking the supplement, and talk to a doctor. Also, immune compromised people can develop infections from probiotic microbes. So that basically means we need to be careful if we have AIDS, if we're taking immunosuppressive drugs, if we're receiving radiation or chemotherapy, or if we're in the hospital. So just a couple things to be mindful of, but in general, great ways to make sure that our gut health is staying where we want it to be and that we're feeding it on a regular basis to keep it healthy. One thing, unfortunately, those of you that know me better as well, I have been hit with strep throat repeatedly since November of last year. So I do have an appointment. My little tonsils are going to be leaving me shortly. And because of my strep throat, I've had to go through rounds of antibiotics to help get rid of the strep throat. What that happens is that it wipes out my gut health. So after I'm done my antibiotics, I am on the kimchi, I'm on the sauerkraut, getting those live active cultures in my yogurt because I need to build it up. Because I have celiac, I'm at a disadvantage in terms of my immune system already, so I really have to be diligent with it. I cannot stress enough the importance of making sure that we're including a few of those things in our daily diet. So in terms of when we're sick, what do we do? Do we eat? Do we not eat? Do we try and flush it out? What is the answer? Long story short, there's no definite answer. The main thing I can advise is to listen to your body. There are days, we're suffering from influenza and we're starving. There are days that we don't even want to look at food. Typically, our body tells us what we need. We do know that moderate caloric restriction can improve cell-mediated immunity and offset chemo-induced and age-related changes in immune function by helping to replenish stem cells. On the other hand, though, during periods of very low food intake, our defenses against specific pathogens, they lower. And our immune system is suppressed. So it's a bit of a toss-up. There's no one real reason, and that is why the best thing to do is often to just listen to those body cues and listen to your body in terms of if we can eat or not. Let's say you do get sick, though. Despite all of the precautions that we're taking, let's just say we do get sick. Your appetite doesn't entirely disappear. What are some good things that we can be eating to help get back on the road to recovery a little bit faster? Garlic acts as an antibiotic and has consistently been found to lessen the severity of colds and other infections. Chicken soup, not from the can or the box. You need to get the carcass, boil that carcass off, make some good old chicken noodle soup. I know when I'm down and out, I've got a mama that takes care of me, but we need some real chicken soup. It actually works. It's got fluids, it's got electrolytes, it's warm and soothing. Depending on what you put in there too, we can also have some anti-inflammatory problems or properties that are going to decrease your cold symptoms as well that you're experiencing. Green tea, another great one. It's going to produce the production of B-cell antibodies, and those are going to help us get rid of invading pathogens. Honey, so it has antibacterial and antimicrobial properties in it. It is an effective cough suppressant as well, so if you don't have anything at home and you do have a bit of a cough, honey is your go-to. In one study, it was as effective as a cough-suppressing drug as cough syrup. So different things that we can use. A few teaspoons in a cup of green tea, you're good to go. Elderberries, the other one, they have antiviral properties and are loaded with phytonutrients. So a great choice as well. If you are under the weather but feeling like you can stomach a few things, then those are your go-tos. in general, to prevent getting sick, what are some of the things we can do? Avoid over-exercising, which is just going to put more stress on the body and leave you fatigued, and under-exercising. So we don't want to be doing too much. We don't want to be doing too little. Finding that balance. Again, body cues. Your body's going to tell you when you're tired. This weekend, I went to go for a run on Saturday, and I just wasn't feeling it. My body didn't want to. I thought, nope, I'll go on Sunday. And my body said, you know what? I'm still not feeling it, so I'll probably go for a run later today. But the big thing is to just listen to your body. Avoid over and under eating. Same thing. It's finding that balance, maintaining a healthy body weight, washing our hands. Little germs are going to be everywhere soon. Getting enough sleep. Not only do we need to get enough sleep, we need to do it consistently. It does matter over time. So getting enough sleep and consistently. Managing our stress. So finding some meditation times, finding some alone time, whatever it is, to release, get back to you, having some downtime in there so that we're managing our stress. Eating plenty of nutrient-dense foods, and feeding our healthy gut bacteria. So those are some things we can do. And if we are feeling sick, lots of fluids, especially water and green tea, rest, recovery, focus on those immune-boosting foods, supplementing if we need to with those pre and probiotics, and just listening to those body cues. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Or if there's any topics that you guys do want to talk about in the future, let me know. That is what we're here for. So take care, everybody. This week in boot camp, it's another great week. Vange is back. She's here today. She is cracking the whip. So you guys get in here, get ready to go. And yeah, it's going to be a great week. So start it off, get in here. And if you're not a member, come on in, find out how you can get this done, and we'll make it happen. All right. Until next time, guys, take care.